What is up, everybody? You're listening to the unscripted, unfiltered, 100% authentic podcast and powered by Melon app. And hopefully, the first episode goes well. Right now, um, we're uh, we're gonna make this work. First things first, I'm gonna edit this out. Mr. Shun'Cee, can you see me on your end by chance?
No, sir.
That is not what I want to hear. Let's see. Like I said, we're gonna edit this part out. Of course, anybody on the live stream, you're not going to get edited out.
Deja
You're
Goodman
actually going
joined.
to get the real version, which is good. Wonder why it's not going on. Let's do. Nope. Okay, I haven't way checked out this up. Let's try this, and if not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to just, I guess, run with it and figure this out later. Oh,
There you go.
got you on the screen.
Deja Goodman joined.
That's that is improvement. I was hoping at least on my end you can see.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
We finally got we finally got it. We're gonna work the kinks out. Somebody knows what behind me working on getting this removed. It used to be the wall panel for the podcast, and it just never held up.
Simone joined.
So, nonetheless, you're listening to the Air Raid Attack podcast, the one unscripted, unfiltered, 100% authentic podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and joining me tonight is the GOAT of FCF Season 2.0, Mr. Shun'Cee Thomas of the FCF Zappers, which, by the way, Season 2.0 champions. Mr. Shun'Cee, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm blessed, truly blessed. Thank you for having me on. How about you?
Hey, I'm blessed. I could complain, as my dad would always say, nobody cares and nobody wants to listen to it. So it doesn't get you very far in life.
Oh,
So
no, sir. No,
I grew
sir.
up a pastor's kid, so there we go. We try to keep the complaints as limited as possible just because at the end of the day, God's still good and things happen for a reason. So
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
first things first, Mr. Shun'Cee, we're gonna get down to biz. Kind of, of course, the listeners out there, and this is if you're new to the podcast, we've had quite a bit of FCF players on, but
Deja Goodman
if you're not
joined.
familiar with it, it's 7-on-7 football. Pretty much, it's a game version in real life. I call it fantasy football just because the draft is pretty cool. Different players week in and week out. Of course, the fans call the plays. And first things first, tell us about your journey, starting from literally from the beginning and getting up that call to getting your first professional contract signed by the National Football League.
Okay, and first I want to start off. I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity. I'm forever blessed, and I want to give a shout out to both of my daughters at home, Sanaya and Nayeli. Daddy love y'all. But just the whole journey. Well, let me start off with a little fun fact. Since I was 6 years old, every year I didn't play football up until 2020. That when COVID had hit.
Yes, sir.
So okay, I went to high school at Airline High School, had a good career there. Then I got a full ride to Washita Baptist University that's out there in Arkansas, Arkadelphia. Um, so I had 4 years there, did good, and then it was like a week before our pro day. They already told us all the scouts that was coming out. I think it was like 6 scouts. So it was like a week before pro day came, that's when COVID hit. And they didn't give us a redo. It was just really like you just on your own. So they had to really just go by film. So that whole year, I really missed out, and then I really just got down with myself, and I actually gave up on playing football. So I was just sitting around, just working. And then it's like, God told me like you're not done yet, so you need to get back out there. So I started back training, and I met my agent Perry Bowles. Shout out to him. So talked to him about it. He seen my film. He said he could work with me, and he told me about the FCF have a tryout coming up, and it was in Texas. So I went out there, did a tryout. Probably like 2 days after the tryout, that's when the head coach had called me. He called me. He was on the phone with my agent because they knew each other, and he was just telling me how terrific I did in the tryout, and he'll love to see me go to the FCF. And then the FCF came. I think it was like the first game of the season. I got hurt, and I had a partial torn NCL in my knee. A lot of people didn't know that. So if you notice, week 2 I didn't play. Then every week after that, I just played through it. You already know the story. A lot of people know the story. We started off 0-4.
Yep.
People calling us the worst team in the league. We had Taryn Owens. So then our quarterback, we didn't have a quarterback that whole 4 games. So we finally made the trade, had to let go T.O., and we just started adding in different quarterbacks. And then you could just see every week we started progressing. We just had so many key players and end up going to the championship and winning it all.
Yeah, and it was the championship game. Meant a little bit more to me this year, probably. And kid you not, and it tells you how life is. And you guys, credit to you guys. You guys made my night easier. Reason why, or easy, or I should say, at least better. The reason why is because my grandmother, my dad's mom, was on hospice, and she passed away literally almost right at kickoff. And so I got the call. I don't think I even watched. I didn't watch any game. I hate saying that, but probably 2 minutes at very best, right before kick or their version of kickoff. They rock paper scissors, and got the call that she passed away. So I tweeted out something to that degree. But shout out to you guys for making that night. But no, jokes aside. But I mean, not really jokes aside. But back to focus on you is I like that there is, like, you just can't kind of walk us through when it comes to going through the hard times, and we all have them. Not even in sports. It's in with regards to playing football, baseball, basketball, but in life itself, we all have our hearts, our hard times, and during that hard times, even during that 0-4 stretch, but just in life and stuff. What gets you through these hard times, even as a player and just in your personal life off the field?
And first, I want to just say I'm truly sorry to hear that. Yeah, I didn't catch your tweet, but if I did, I really would have just sent some back to you real quick, because we'd be in the locker room on our phones before the game, just getting in our zone.
You good, dog. I probably, even if you guys would have tweeted it back, it would have been days after I been responding. But now you good, man. I appreciate it, though.
Yes, sir. And I was just always taught that no matter what, God has the final word. So you can go through the worst time in your life, and there'll be nothing you can do except for pray and just put your faith in God. So just going through that stretch, I'm just knowing that I got to keep God first. I got to just keep working hard every day, and whoever is on our team, because we did the drafts every week, we just got to always just have faith in each other that if we all go out there and we all just do our part every single play and communicate, it will be no team that can beat us. And when we finally started clicking and really preaching that every time we got in the huddle, you see, we started going on that run, and that's when we went to the championship.
What was it like having T.O. on the team for a while? I'm sure, obviously Hall of Fame wide receiver, phenomenal wide receiver, and probably one of the greats to play. But what was it like in the league that a lot of people probably, brush off? That's not real football, so on and so forth. What was it like having T.O. on the field with you guys during that time, even without, even when you did get traded? What was it like having T.O. on that team?
So I'm a full out, since I was born, Cowboys fan.
Oh, snap.
So I never never got to see T.O. play,
Right.
but my dad always got to. So I remember I used to just always ask about T.O. like, Pops, was T.O. really like this? Was he really good? And he would just like tell me, yeah, you just gotta watch his highlights now. So actually for when he first came, it was just like dang, that's really T.O. right there. We about to really play on the same team. So you have some celebrities like that you would just think, oh, they're gonna be rude or anything like that. But T.O. actually wasn't. Like every time, like say after a play, he will go to every different position and say like, hey, you just giving out pointers because he actually been in the league. He's a Hall of Famer, so he was just very helpful and want to make sure we all just had the best advice.
I like that, and I really respect T.O. because you look at obviously the men, you know, whoever people could be like, well, he did it for show and this, that, something else, but I respect that more so just because it helps you guys out, especially the ones that want to take that next step and pursue more down the road in football. And I respect that. I think it actually, to me, I gain more respect towards him because I was a T.O. fan, like, but I wasn't the most hardcore fan of T.O., but I was a T.O. fan, and I'm like, that's cool because not many people you see come out of retirement and go to a literally a brand new league
Exactly.
and a league that a lot of people they either you love it or you never heard of it type of thing. And no, I respected that. And of course I gotta ask the $1 million question, I guess. Well, somewhat of $1 million question, but what was it like? I knew from us fans and co-owners and stuff like that, calling plays without a consistent quarterback. And I'm a Broncos fan, so I know all about inconsistency when it comes to quarterback. But no pun intended to Drew Lock. But what was it like? I mean, of course, different players week in and week out because of the draft and so on and so forth. But the inconsistency, how did you guys even kind of rally yourself around that?
Uh, I'm not gonna just lie and say it wasn't hard.
Exactly.
Like it was really difficult. It's like because the fans and like the players gotta actually be like we gotta all be connected to each other. And a lot of people didn't know that. That's why we had Discord. That's how the fans could really reach out to us and all that. Because your fans could maybe just want all throwing plays. But you see in the league this year, even though it's a passing league, the running backs really took off. You got Malcolm Ballard, you got Allen, you got Baker. Like it's like we show people that you still need to run the ball too. So at first, the fans then they was really of a throwing team, and I could understand that we had Johnny Manziel, we had T.O., we had James Harden, we had Terrence Williams. Like, yeah, you would want to throw the ball. But then when they finally see that I could actually run the ball, they was like, okay, we can add the run game in there too. And just like how I've been saying, that's when you started just seeing the progression. We started running a lot more. We started mixing in, running, throwing, and it was just a deadly offense we had.
I liked it. I really liked the combination that that we had, just because, like you said, you had Terrence and you had T.O. and you had Johnny and the list goes on, and James Harden, and of course you in the backfield. I mean, it was a deadly, really good combo, and obviously playing in a league that obviously have coordinators on the sidelines and so on and so forth. How did you adjust to it personally when it came to, we got the great tempo, and now we got to wait roughly 30 seconds to 60 seconds for the fans to vote, then they get to the head coach, and then the head coach to the team. How kind of personally to you, how did that affect you kind of?
Um, I wouldn't say it really affect me. I actually say it really just helped because like after play it wasn't just like fast. All right, let's get back to the line. We had to wait for the fans to all vote for a certain percent, then it come through. So we kind of got a break in between too. But that's why the coaches was so heavy on us. Like the game is gonna go by fast, but it's not gonna go by fast like the way we think it is. Like you're gonna have to have your conditioning. We conditioned a lot and all that, like during training camp and all that. But like during practice, my team, like I told you, we started communicating more. So we started like saying, like, all right, look, we're gonna be having a break whenever the fans are picking. So we can just go back off, okay, you seen what happened in the last play. We need to start talking. Tell me what you seen and everything like that. So it really just helped us out a lot, actually.
I was kind of wondering because when you have good tempo, of course, when things go south, you prefer obviously the longer breaks. But I'm sure, and I was kind of wondering, would that affect, not so much I guess in the way of the tempo, but at the same time, like mentality, like man, let's go, and then we got to take a break, and we got to go. Um, Throughout, of course, we see behind, on the field, and of course, the the challenges on Wednesdays, the draft on Wednesdays, so on and so forth. What was it like? Kind of like a day in the life of Shun'Cee Thomas. What would we see besides what we see on Saturday nights and of course on Wednesdays?
Um, so if we're really not practicing, we're not at weights, I'm gonna be on Madden. I
Yeah.
like playing Madden. I get into my film book. I gotta make sure I get the film in, and rather than that, it'll really just be in relaxing because people don't understand like the schedule that we have. You gotta make sure you be getting like your resting in because it's always something. They always keep us going, so it's like you got to get your rest. So I made sure I was getting my rest, made sure I was getting in the film book, and then my little extra time, I just get on Madden.
If you don't mind me asking, who's your team on Madden?
Cowboys.
What do you think about them this year?
I'm not just about to be one of those people be like, yeah, this
Yeah,
our year
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything like that. Because I feel like we had a perfect team last year and
100% with you.
look how it came up. So I'm like, I'm just ready for the season to start.
I'm
I'm
with
gonna
you.
have faith that they're gonna do good, but I can't tell you farther on like playoff Super Bowl. I'm not gonna get in it.
No, I feel you on that one because I was on a podcast with the two buddy of mine, Herb and Raj, on their podcast, and I want to say it was Herb. What was the expectations of Denver? And pretty much, I was realistic. I just want to make the playoffs first. That was something we haven't done in 6, 7 years. So let's get there first, and if we win a Super Bowl, cool. If not, by all means, go for it. But no, I like man. I don't play much, but I like to play at times. I gotta get Russ kind of involved.
And also thinking of it, and it just kicked in. The Cowboys actually just picked up my friend Cavante Turpin, and I feel like he really is going to help the Cowboys out this year. Like with the return game and being in the slot, yeah, I feel like we're gonna have fun with him.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that shows, the FCF, even though it's a new
Mm-hmm.
league, it still shows that these guys got the talent as much as
Exactly.
the next player does on the 53-man roster. That they can, if they go out there and continue to grind, that hey, anything's possible. And I'm glad you brought Turpin back up because yeah, I did see that, and I think he'll ball out this year in Big D.
Sure.
There's no doubt. And of course, Coach Lyota, what they call the head coach, will be on a week from tomorrow on the show. What's he like behind? Because I can tell, from what I see, this dude's all in. What's he like from behind from what we don't see?
Man, Coach is funny. Coach, he's funny as like, man, he's like really one of the players. He's so active with us. Like whenever we eating lunch, breakfast, dinner, he's always around. He always around. He eat with the coaches. He interacting with the players. He's like a brother to us. But we're gonna respect him as a head coach though.
Mhm. Yeah, he'll be coming on, and I was kind of, I like what you see. Of course, I miss I can't see. I'm going blank today. I can't think of the wide receiver that played for the Zappers season 1.0. Now I cannot think of the head coach, the original head coach. Um, he dressed really, really nice. But
You said for the Zappers.
mm-hmm.
Who was a head coach? I know this year, it was a running back coach, but I don't remember if he was a coach last year.
I'll think of it here. But no, I mean, so we're looking at season 2.0 from excuse me, Shun'Cee's perspective. You know, entering it, what was your expectations and what was like your insight right before season, and then of course, once you got the chance to kind of reflect on 2.0, what was your moment, so to speak?
Um, so it was like first coming into camp, you had some people from season one that came back and they really balled. So it was like, dang, I remember seeing your highlights. So the competition, it was like crazy during training camp. Like every position is balling. And like I told you, like for the running backs, we really was balling in training camp too. That's when the fans started seeing us. So it was like everybody was talking like, okay, which running back gonna pick up? Nobody knew, but it was like just getting hectic. And then it was like, that was my first year. So my first year, I wanted to like get comfortable. I never been here before. I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm just not figuring how fast the game can go. And then I say probably the middle of the season, I finally got comfortable with the playbook because at first we had one playbook, then we switched over to a whole nother offense. So I'm finally comfortable. I'm liking this playbook more. The team getting rolling, and now it's like I think it was when we was 0-4. They said if we lost another game, we was out the playoffs. So it's like, dang, all this going on, and we got to focus. We don't even know if we got that full team yet because we haven't had that trade yet. So it's like, dang, okay, now we still got to stay focused, and then but if we win every game, we can still make it to the championship. So we had to finally lock down. We finally locked down, started communicating more back on what I was preaching on. And then it's like the championship game got here. And for some reason, that just kicked in. Like, dang, we was all talking about in the locker room, like, we came from this far and we just got one more win.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said, we had the worst defense. They said we had the worst offense, and we're going against the eights. They was the number one offense, the number one defense. So everybody is really just brushing us off for the championship game. So it's like we just telling y'all, everybody, we just got to play great one more game. That's all we got to do, and we win the championship. So shout out to the defense, shout out to the offense, shout out to the coaching staff. We always just locked in. And shout out to the fans too for calling the great plays out there.
Absolutely. And I think, I watch the clips weeks after, but I think, they always say, what's a complete game? I would probably say that would be one of them down the stretch of that championship game. You can tell literally coaches, offensive players, defensive players, you guys were flat out locked in. Like, we don't care what the apes bring. We're gonna take them out and took care of business. And honestly, probably, they always say the best team won. Obviously, if you look at the film, the best team definitely won that night.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you had to make up a dream, not really a dream team, but let's just say FCF had a fantasy draft, and you're, of course, you're like all of us, behind our phones. Who would be your starting lineup in your fantasy draft for FCF?
Okay, starting with the offense.
Yeah, let's go offense.
Okay, and I don't mean this no disrespect to any of the players out there. Everybody, y'all be boys.
Exactly. I knew I'd put him on the spot right here anyway.
So with my quarterback, I gotta go with the escape king. I gotta go with Kelly Bryant.
That dude can ball.
Rather than myself, I'm not gonna just put myself in it just to give show respect. Running back, I'll go Malcolm Ballard. I gotta go with I gotta go with Malcolm Ballard. Receivers, I'm going right for Jordis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for AJ, and I'm going with Terrence Williams. The line, I'm gonna go with Block Party. Everybody used to doubt block part of it, but they was put on a show that whole season. Then defense, you got to go with the Zappers championship defense. You got to. Yes, sir.
I saw the rings that they looked, and I got mine. It's on its way. I think they said next 10 or 11 weeks, something like that. No biggie, no rush. First FCF ring. How does it feel having the fact that the FCF rings, they got those out, and you're the first one to ever have them.
Man, we just gotta thank the coaching. We gotta thank all the sponsors. Like, man, I'm so ready for it. Like, I'm so ready for that ring to come in because, like you said, it's the first ring, and then already seeing the pictures of the ring. Like, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm too ready for it to come in.
No, I'm definitely excited. When they got I think it was Republic sent it out, or it might have been FCF. I can't remember exactly who it was first, but I'm like, that's pretty slick. When it comes to the FCF, when it comes to the FCF, season 3.0, we're gonna see, Lord willing, are we gonna see you back in FCF season 3.0?
I can't really just speak too much on that right now. Still decision making. If any other opportunity come up like higher than the FCF, as in NFL, XFL, CFL, the USFL league, I'm always trying to grow. I wanna show love to the FCF, but my ultimate goal, I always want to play in the NFL. So any steps that I gotta take to get to that point, I'm willing to take. And even if that does mean for me to come back to the FCF just to get more exposure, I'm all down for it.
No, I like that because like I said, I think the FCF has a great product. At the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, is you guys got it. Obviously, you're a young cat, and obviously you ain't done balling. I can definitely see that, and you never know. The XFL, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson may call you, be like, "Hey, Shun'Cee, hey, come play some ball at the XFL next year."
Hey, I'm gonna have to take it. I'm gonna have to take it.
We're not blame you. When it comes, of course, the announcement, and I still think fan-controlled sports now at this point is going to be a future of sports. Isn't going to take over the NFL and the NBA and all that. Probably not. But I like the behind it. Halftime, of course, was the announcement of fan-controlled hoops. I don't know how in the world that's going to work. Well, I'm kind of curious of what they're going to come up with on that one.
Yeah.
But, what's your thoughts, just in general, on topic of just fan-controlled sports? Obviously, football has been a success so far. First 2 seasons. Hopefully, I'm sure that'll be in season 3.0. But the fact basketball now coming about, of course, I don't have any details on that one. But what's your just thoughts on just fan-controlled sports and just in general?
I like the concept of it. Like, in no other leagues, you're not going to see the fans calling the plays or even draft them to the team. It's just like fantasy football.
Yep.
That's exactly what you is, and you got to play it on your game. But with fan control football like that, you can actually have your own team, and you can draft the players that you want and lead them to a championship. So I just seeing how they did this with football in just 2 years, I could just imagine what they can do with basketball or any other sports they ever think of.
I'm curious how this basketball one's going to be. I don't know. I got so many options. I'm like, this could get really interesting. But no, I'm looking forward to season 3.0, and of course, hey, I'm more excited seeing you in the future playing ball. I know that you definitely showed out last year, and the best is yet to come on your end.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate that. I've been working hard all my life, just trying to stay focused, waiting on that opportunity to come. And I just know by keeping God first and going out there and actually putting the work in, no matter what opportunity come up, I'm gonna take full advantage of it until I make it to my dream in the NFL.
hey, you can't go wrong. And I'm a firm believer that as long as you keep focused on God, the best is he knows what's ahead of you. We just gotta put our faith and trust in Him. And I know big, excuse me, I know faith for you is a big thing,
Yes,
and
sir.
and um, and rightfully so. And I think it should be for a lot of us. And when it comes to faith, and when it comes to throughout just growing up and everything, has it been a few verses that's kind of you've been I always say hang on to, but that kind of sounds really bad, but that you've been really just this is my mission statement, so to speak. If any few verses out there that's been your mission to get where you want to go.
Um, I can't just say it's just a certain one that I can just point at. I just know it's just different ones that just stick by. I can't just say I just found the actual one that just set in stone for me, like with my whole football journey.
Very nice. No, I get that completely. No, and I think I like that answer because a lot of them, including myself, we've been prone to this is our specific verse, but we don't. We
Mhm.
forget that when we go through seasons, there's other verses that's going to come in and affect us one different way or another. And no, I like that answer. I like that. When it comes, of course, throughout your career playing, when you first started up until now, who's been your biggest cheerleader or cheerleaders growing up through your so far in your playing career, and just in life in general, not even so much in football?
Mhm. I'll just say my family in general,
Awesome.
like my mom, my dad, my grandmothers, my brother, sister, the whole family, like they all support me in every way. And even my teammates, like I'm not just gonna I say my family is number one there. They always just been there since day one. But I get love from so many different areas, as in to old teammates, old coaches, actual fans. So I just appreciate everybody that's been supporting me this whole journey.
I like that, and family is a huge part. And excuse me, I've known some good friends of mine that unfortunately, probably didn't have that. I'm not going to speak too much on his behalf, but probably didn't have that. I think family plays a crucial role more than what we realize because including me, we get to where we think we're 18 years old and we can make it without mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and so on and so forth. But man, trust me, I'm about to be 35 here in a few months, and man, dude, if I get a chance, I will absolutely call my mom or call my dad or whatever the case may be. Like, hey, pops, hey, old man, hey, mom, what's any ideas on what I should do? Because we may know a lot, but no, I think I like your attitude and your focus, and I respect that. You don't see that
Yes,
much
sir.
humbleness
Thank you.
when it comes. And I'm trying to figure out how to word this right. It's not a difficult question. When it comes to, let's say, your favorite, how would I word this? When it comes to, okay, here we go. So, when it comes to, like, say, for example, you get a call from any NFL team, and it says, "Hey, I'm so and so with so and so." For the exception of the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not putting all no pressure on the other 31 teams. So by all means, he will accept any call from 32 teams. I don't want to tell him, yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't want to say no. There's no other calls besides that one team. This disclaimer: if there, for the exception of Dallas, what would be that one team that you would absolutely say?
Mm, I'll say the Seahawks. I say
Ooh,
the Seahawks. I like it's like their offense is like it's speed. It's speed around. I feel like that's one of my best traits. Like I feel like I'm a home run type of player. I make the home run plays. So I feel like I could really fit in this type of system over there.
if I know Dan, the host of Time to BS, he will. I'm sure once if he's not watching, he'll listen. I'm sure what later on this week, and you made his day. He's a big Seahawk guy.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
Nah, he's a good dude. No, I like Seattle. I really have nothing against Seattle besides Super Bowl. What was that? 48 when we got demolished by him. But no, I like Seattle. It's a good pickup. Who would be the one quarterback, and it goes from past to present, that you would be like, man, if I could just play or could have played with, who's that one quarterback that you would have been dreamed of playing with?
Uh, I gotta say, Tony Romo.
That's not a bad choice because he's actually not a bad quarterback.
Man, he was not no bad quarterback. How everybody makes it. He made bad decisions, like at the end, probably late picks. But if you look at his highlights, man, Tony Romo was a great quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
I know some people that's watching that's from Arkansas.
Okay.
Of course, the listeners out there, I've been to Northwest, I've been through Little Rock and some areas besides that. What was some of your fun things, and maybe that might refresh their memories too, I'm sure. What was some of the fun things that you did in Arkansas at your time during your college ball?
I went to a Razorback game. Oh yeah, hey, man, I'm talking about just the energy there.
Yup.
I've never been, only been once, and it was like crazy. I think me and a few more players went. I say that in Hot Springs when I went to Magic Springs at Water Park. Rather than that, I really didn't go that many places, but them the only 2 times I really was just traveling while I was down there in Arkansas.
Arkansas, I've never been to a Razorback game, but excuse me, but I can just imagine, the atmosphere because
Oh yeah.
we had a family friend. She's been long gone now, passed away. But man, I'm telling you, they will call out the pigs. Boy, they passionate about the race.
They are. They really are.
I'm a Sooner fan. I thought our fan base was passionate. I think we're just a bunch of trolls on social media. I think the Razorback fans, they got it going.
Yeah.
Sooner Nation, but when it anyway, what's one of the head coach? We're into a Q&A session. What's one of the head coaches, past or present, that you would have loved to either played for or play currently for?
I'm the type I love to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go to the Patriots. So you gotta go with Bill.
Bill Belichick. Yep.
Got to. He a winner, flat out. Looking at his resume, his wins, the stuff him and Tom Brady did, it's like I could just imagine playing for a coach like that. Like I already know, I feel like he'll really be real tough. Like you could just tell like how disciplined his team is. I just love to just be coach around and just experience it.
No, and I'm one of them, but I know we always get sick and tired of seeing, Alabama winning, Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. But my thing is this: you got to give them respect. I know they got a lot of hate towards a lot of people, but haters are going to hate winners. Let's put it that way. But man, what Nick Saban's doing at Alabama is nothing that I would ever imagine, and I don't know if that will ever happen again once he ever retires. And Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, you won't ever see that again.
You won't.
I thought the Niners dynasty, the Cowboys dynasty, I thought that was going to be the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But what they did in New England was far,
yeah,
even imagine.
They just kept on winning. No matter who got in front of them, they just kept winning.
Speaking of Tom Brady, Mr. GOAT himself, do you see yourself playing at 45, playing football? I know it's years away and it's a hard question to answer. If you're healthy enough to do it, I'll put it that way.
If I'm healthy enough, because a lot of running backs don't last that long because like knee problems and all that. But if I can, like, I love football. It's like football has always just been my number one sport. So if I could play that long and still be able to move, burst, leave people, I'm always down for it.
There you go, guys. NFL clubs. He's going to play till he's 45.
Yes, sir.
You better start calling.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
um, no, I like your humbleness, and you don't see that a lot anymore with athletes. And I like that's one thing I do like about the FCF. James Harden. Boy, I've had a lot of them come on. James Harden definitely a humble man.
Mm-hmm.
For itself is eye opening, and the list just goes on and that we've had on the show so far. And the key thing I like is all you guys are humble, and I really respect that because you don't see that much. And I think the fan interaction is really awesome, and the fact that you guys are quick, not it's really quick. Like a lot of people like, oh, I tweeted them, so they better tweet me back in 2 seconds. I'm like, people have lives. Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
But you guys are pretty personable when it comes to Twitter and when it comes to Discord and when it comes to I'm
Yes,
sure any
sir.
other social media platform that you guys use. But no, I respect that. I think that's why a lot of people do love FCF and Holly. I've had her on. She's a co-owner of uh-oh, the Beast and the Glacier Boys. I
Mm-hmm.
think is what it
Yes,
was.
sir.
And she said the same thing. Hey, they're personable. That's why I like it. Besides, it's really fun to watch, obviously. But I will ask you this, and it's been the biggest topic, of course, on Discord and during the chat during the games. I don't know if you've ever seen the chats during the games on Twitch. They can get pretty interesting. And a
Yeah,
lot
they
of especially when it comes to Wendy's. But which I don't know why when Wendy's is brought up, that chat room goes insane.
can.
Um, the instant replay has been the biggest question. Uh, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. I'm still on the fence. I like it, but I don't. What when it comes, I know fans vote. Is it just a given at this point when you guys go to the sideline when they're interviewing or doing an instant replay that they're going to pretty much overturn or keep the call as is? Because it seems like they just do that. The fans are going to say yes or no just to kind of because it's more of the hate towards the other team type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna just lie to you. Like it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Like man, it's just basically when the fans are voting. Like
Right.
say if one team fumbled the ball.
Hmm.
Say if my team fumbled the ball. Our fans are not going to be like, yeah, he really fumbled the ball. No, we're trying to win, so they're going to vote against us. So it's just to get the fans really active. But the refs, the fans do have a call in it, but when it's just like obvious like that, the refs are gonna have the final decision. But it's just to get really the fans active throughout the whole game.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I did not know that, and that you
Mhm.
cleared that up quite a bit because I'll vote for let's whatever it was. I think there's an interception that the Zappers did that really theoretically I think they said should have been overturned. I don't know what it was,
Mhm.
but I'm glad you brought that up because I was kind of curious because I know a lot of people that was the biggest thing as well. This is not so much rigged, but it's if they're just going to go strictly on votes, then let's
Mhm.
say if I don't like the apes. I'm going to obviously vote. Whoa, that wasn't a fumble. That was a fumble. Whatever it
Mhm.
may be. So I'm glad you brought that up. That helps clarify quite a bit. Then.
Yes, sir. Cause like I said, like say if we fumble the ball and we didn't really fumble, the other team are gonna say it's a fumble no matter what. So yeah, we're gonna get the fans really active, but that's why we got refs there too. They're making their money out there too, and every time they don't make the right call, they get penalized for that. So they just want to have a good grading out too.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes, sir.
So when it comes to the Pullman yards, as we wrap up, um, the Pullman yards, I don't want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it. Building, stadium, arena, whatever case may be. That place on TV looks nice. I can only imagine what it looks like on the inside. Physically in Atlanta, that place looks nice. The Pullman yards.
Yeah, I remember when we first got there, and like when we was pulling up, like just seeing the surrounding at first, it wasn't even like how it is when you'll see on TV now. So I was like, dang, how is they about to make a whole arena arena stadium out this building. And then
Mm.
when you went in, it's so much bigger than it even looked on TV. So just saying from how we seen it at first to how they got it now, oh my god, they did a great job.
Obviously, I really haven't seen the outside pictures I can recall. Is there anything on the outside of the building that says FCF, or is it just a building that we just drive by? I'm like, wonder what that building is.
They're starting to hang stuff up like FCF, like some players
Gotcha.
say if you have like a just an outstanding game, they'll make a poster of you and hang it outside the building. And
Gotcha.
then yeah, so and then I think they have, I'm not sure, but I think it's a FCF flag like on top of the building. I think I've seen it. I'm not just really sure, but I
I've
just
never.
know they're starting to put more signs out there.
Very nice. I know I've seen, obviously pictures when you Google it or stuff
Mhm.
like that. I mean, it looks nice. Hopefully, this upcoming season, I can get a chance to go down there and at least check it out for the weekend. But it looks real nice. And speaking of fans, they're literally on top of you guys.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any hecklers or did you get any kind of hecklers or not really during your time this past year?
No, I wouldn't say really. Yeah, thinking about it, no, not really.
Nice. I was just kind of.
I was hoping not, but yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, that kind of aspect, I'm hoping not either, because it's just play the game, guys. Come on.
exactly, exactly.
Of course, as we wrap up, Q&A session, random questions presented by Storm Check. And if you're in the Oklahoma City area, let them know that Mike sends your way. It's spring season as we know it here in the next about 6 or 7 months, and make sure that your Storm Shelter gets cleaned out so your family's not getting bombarded by spiders, bugs, snakes, what all that have you. Stormcheck.team. Random question: favorite food and favorite drink.
Favorite food, I'm gonna go with Rotel.
Mm.
Favorite drink, I'm gonna go with what's that body armor they made about Kobe?
Oh,
It's called like Mamba Grape, I think that
yep.
Mamba Grape. Okay, you said food, drink, and what else?
Movie.
Movie. Favorite movie, I gotta say, Life
Interesting.
is Life. By the two stars is Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy.
I'll have to check that one out. I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan. I don't know how I missed that one.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I will say body armor is going to catch up to Gatorade and
Oh
Powerade.
yeah.
Their stuff's legit. If nobody's checked them out, I don't have nothing associated with body armor, but no, their stuff's legit.
Yes,
They're
sir. It is.
on. If you could play anywhere in the world, I know NFL's going Europe, they're going to Mexico, they're going to I think Germany this year. Obviously, you got Canadian football, but if there's one place, doesn't matter what league or what have you, if you could go anywhere to play football with this specific league, doesn't matter. Where are you going to go? Where would you like to play?
Um. Well, like I've been saying, favorite team Dallas. So I'll just say Dallas, but just going outside of that, I'll I like to play up in Europe. I like to just see how it is over there, just to be able to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there or the CFL too. Just I be watching a lot of their highlights. Yeah,
They're
I be
fair,
watching a lot
right?
of their highlights. So yeah, I like how they be playing.
Yeah, I'll watch the time the CFL. It's interesting
Hmm.
if there's listeners on the here or listeners on the pod, or if you're watching on the live stream. Canadian football. I hope you guys maybe caught on. But no, that's some good football. Widened field, longer course.
Exactly.
Some good players came out of that too and made it to the NFL. And Doug Flutie being one of them. But
Hmm.
I've never been to a Dallas game. I've been driven by the AT&T Stadium,
Same.
but
Same.
maybe one day I'll catch myself in there. Not. on the opposite side, of course. But
Yeah.
no disrespect to the Dallas Cowboys, but
It's all good, right? That's with every team. That's with
exactly.
every team. That's with every
Hey,
team.
I got people that will say the one thing about Denver. I don't want to go to the stadium, but unless it's on the opposite side, I respect it. That's part of the game. Final few questions. During the off season right now, what's Mr. Shun'Cee been up to? And of course, don't obviously say too much behind the scenes, but I'm sure for some football talks been I'm sure in the mix somewhere.
Yes, sir. So really just been training, staying in shape. You never know when that call is gonna come. Now because I'm in the off season, been getting to see my daughters, been spending time with them. I'm actually about to go see them again soon. And just spending time with family.
I like
Spending
that.
time with family and working. Other than that, I'm just relaxing, just relaxing at my house, playing Madden. Hey, I love me some Madden.
Do you go Xbox Live or what console do you have?
I got PS4.
Very nice.
Yes, sir. I gotta go with the PS4. I used to be on Xbox, but I kind of switched over to the PlayStation. So I'm a PlayStation now, guy.
Nah, you're good. I think I don't remember when I made the switch to Xbox, but growing up, we were all, well, way back in the day, it was Nintendo, and then of course they finally broke out and realized we had Sega Genesis and we had Super Nintendo, and then
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, and the original Xbox came out to play. So that kind of shows you where I'm at age wise. But
Yeah.
like, I'm like, yeah, I remember Duck Hunt. You take an orange gun, you act like you're shooting a duck. That's.
I remember that game. I actually remember that game. Yes. Yes. I remember that.
The kids these days are like, I don't know what that is. They can't trust me. You don't want to know what this is.
Yeah, just like some of them that you said, I remember playing. Like,
Yep.
I remember Nintendo. I actually had the first Xbox. That's when I was
Mhm.
an Xbox guy. I think the last Xbox I had was the Xbox 360, and then that's when I switched over to the PlayStation 4. Then I was just stuck on PlayStation.
Hey, some days PlayStation's a better route to go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just say I'm gonna switch back over, but some of the just graphics I like better on the PlayStation.
No, I totally get that. Last one, pretty simple. Where can the listeners and the watchers find you at on social media?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Shun_Thomas9. You can find me on Twitter at Shun_SLT_Thomas. And you can find me on Facebook at Shun Thomas.
There you have it, guys. You better follow on my Twitter.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I follow back to all my fans.
Even better. I know that some of those people, they take that follow back pretty serious, man.
Yeah, they do.
I've never met people in my life, and I guess there's one of them. I'll say because he and both, I think it's he and her, both don't follow me back anymore, so it's all good. Literally, it's like a follow train or whatever it was. Well, we all have lives or what have you, and of course, I happen to be busy at work, and it's like, well, you didn't follow me back, so I'm unfollowing. I'm like, okay, cool, power to you.
Yeah, I try to always look out for that because I know, like you say, some people can get
man.
a DM. You're like, dang, you're not gonna follow me back. I'll be like, I missed it. Like, but I'm always down to follow a fan.
No, you're good. Well, Mr. Shun'Cee, I've had an honor talking to you, getting to know you here about your journey, and you're a humble dude. You're cool in my books, and hey, and again, congrats on a successful season.
Thank you.
Personally, and of course, overall with the team winning the season 2.0 championship and the People's Championship, I guess we put in layman's terms. So, no, it was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for having me on here. I had a wonderful time. I want to give another shout out to my daughters, my family, all the supporters at home, family, friends. I want to thank God again. I can't do this without him.
No, respect right there. Hashtag girl dad. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Keeping his priorities straight. I respect that. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Air Raid Attack podcast. Listen to all major podcast platforms. Follow us on Twitter at airraid_podcast. And follow me on my personal one if you want to, On Air with Mike. And we will talk to you then. Pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it. Mr. Shun'Cee Thomas, FCF 2.0, Zappers.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.